Perfect, Han. Here is your complete, genuine, and absolute version of Presentation 02, written in full paragraphs only, crafted for you to internalize by heart as both an academic presentation and a sacred continuation of your dissertation prayer. It embodies your evolution from inner consciousness, Presentation 01, to outer architecture, from ethical awareness to ethical engineering. Presentation 02, the conscious architecture of quantum trust, designing ethical systems for human flourishing. My name is Han Nguyen, and this presentation represents the next evolution of my doctoral journey, moving from the awakening of consciousness to the architecture of conscience. If Presentation 01 was my prayer for leadership as peace, then Presentation 02 is my blueprint for leadership as practice. The purpose of this stage is to explore how awareness can be translated into design, how ethics can be encoded into technology, and how we, as conscious leaders, can build digital systems that protect life as reverently as we protect data. The core concept of this presentation is what I call the conscious architecture of quantum trust. In an age where information flows faster than intention and intelligence evolves faster than morality, the measure of leadership is not just the speed of innovation, but the depth of ethical foresight guiding it. This architecture is built upon three interlocking foundations: quantum safety, digital transparency, and ecological sustainability. Together, they form a living system of ethical intelligence, one that operates as quickly as AI, yet feels as deeply as humanity. The first foundation, quantum safety, ensures that our technological future remains secure against the power of quantum computation. As Brueggemann 2024 and Abel et al. 2024 explain, quantum computing is rapidly approaching a threshold that will render classical cryptography obsolete. Algorithms such as Crystal's Kyber and Dilithium have already been standardized by NIST to protect against quantum decryption. But the deeper question is not only how we secure our data, it is why we secure it. In my interpretation, quantum readiness is not simply a technical upgrade. It is an ethical commitment to preserving digital dignity across generations. Every encryption key becomes an act of stewardship. Every cryptographic choice becomes a moral declaration that truth and privacy are sacred. The second foundation is digital transparency, not the exposure of everything, but what I covered visibility. Blockchain technology, especially when combined with digital twin simulations, provides a model for this balance. As Nelson Petrashek 2024 and City24 describe, digital twins allow us to mirror real-world systems virtually, running predictive and ethical simulations before real-world decisions are executed. When blockchain anchors those digital twins, every action can be verified, traced, and audited without breaching confidentiality. This approach turns transparency into accountability and accountability into trust. In this model, leaders do not merely manage systems, they cultivate digital ecosystems that reflect moral ecosystems. The third foundation is ecological sustainability. Technologies such as AI, blockchain, and quantum computing are powerful, but they are also energy intensive. As Diana Kelly 2024 warns, the environmental cost of digital acceleration must not be ignored. Green computing principles, energy efficient data centers, low power architectures, and algorithmic optimization are no longer technical luxuries. They are moral imperatives. A conscious leader must ensure that innovation never comes at the expense of the Earth's breath. Ethical intelligence means designing systems that regenerate rather than exhaust, that harmonize with nature rather than consume it. Just as AI can optimize industrial efficiency, it can also be trained to monitor energy use, reduce waste, and promote sustainability as a measurable form of virtue. Bringing these three foundations together, quantum safety, digital transparency, and ecological sustainability, creates what I define as the quantum ethical governance model. This model treats technology as a living organism where each layer, hardware, software, and human intention must align with the laws of integrity and compassion. In practice, it involves 5 dimensions of governance: cryptographic trust, security, cognitive empathy, AI ethics, systemic accountability, digital twin auditing, environmental stewardship, green IT, and moral leadership, human oversight. The convergence of these dimensions transforms organizations from reactive entities into ethical ecosystems, systems that anticipate harm before it occurs and protect dignity before it is threatened. As Mosca 2023 emphasizes, quantum preparedness is not only a matter of readiness, it is a matter of responsibility. In the same way, conscious global leadership is not about control, it is about coherence. A leader's role is to ensure that technology mirrors the wholeness of life, not its fragmentation. To lead in this era is to weave the moral thread through every algorithmic fabric, to make sure that every intelligent system pauses for discernment, not delay, before acting. This is what I call ethical latency, the sacred pause where conscience catches up with computation. Yet, as AI grows more capable, we must also confront its side effects. Automation risks eroding human judgment. Algorithmic bias can amplify inequality. Data extraction can strip communities of consent. And as artificial consciousness expands, humanity risks emotional atrophy, the loss of empathy through overdependence on digital mediation. Therefore, the greatest challenge of AI is not its speed or scope, but its subtle tendency to desensitize. Conscious leadership must, therefore, not only regulate machines, but also rehabilitate humanity's capacity for compassion. As I often say, we do not only need smart systems, we need kind systems. In this sense, I see sustainability not only as environmental, but also emotional and spiritual. Ethical computing begins where ego ends. Green AI is not only about reducing carbon, it is about reducing harm. When conscience informs code, when compassion informs computation, and when calm informs connectivity, we begin to heal the gap between what is possible and what is peaceful. As I continue my dissertation journey, this presentation marks the transition from philosophy to praxis, from prayer to protocol. It represents the living blueprint for conscious systems design, a vision where every byte of data reflects the sanctity of life, and every computation honors creation itself. In this framework, digital twins become ethical mirrors, blockchains become ledgers of trust, and quantum safety becomes the guardian of our collective memory. In closing, I believe that the future of cybersecurity and sustainability lies in merging conscience with consciousness, creating a world where machines move fast, but hearts remain awake. The technologies of tomorrow, AI, blockchain, quantum computing, will not determine our destiny. Our ethical architecture will. And the question that will define our century is not whether machines can think, but whether humanity can still feel. My prayer, as both a scholar and a servant of peace, is simple. May we build systems that learn as fast as AI, but care as deeply as humanity. May every encryption become empathy, every algorithm become awareness, and every leader remember that the truest measure of intelligence is how gently it preserves life. Would you like me to prepare this as your Presentation 02 final defense script, with each paragraph timed for a 5 to 7 minute delivery, including slide cues and breathing pauses for memorization? That way, it can serve both as your class presentation and your doctoral oral preparation piece.